9:30 on a Friday evening. Don, Steve in the studio. 3-day weekend, President's Day on Monday. I don't have to work.
Yay.
Don't know what I'm going to do yet for music-wise and stuff. But anyway, all right, let's talk a little bit about the band named Gin. And it's from a friend of mine, Chuck, who happens to be just a few months older than I am. Should have been in the same class that I was in, class of 77 here in Sweet Home, from what I understand. And recently had a birthday. And I was quite surprised to bump into him. But he certainly has handed out a lot of great musical information over the last few weeks to us here in the studio. Hope one of these days to get him in the studio here and get him live on the air. But apparently he was a freshman in high school in 1975 when the band was together. There was 3 other members where there were that were freshmen in college at the U of O in Eugene. Richard Black, who I knew at Sweet Home High School in 1974. John Bennett was lead vocals. Lon Reeder on electric guitar, and Chuck was on drums. John Bennett and Lon Reeder were 2 musicians that Richard Black had met in college. And Chuck was in the band that previous year that Richard had called the Wheatstone Bridge, which will maybe be a feature at another time. But the group had broke up after the class of 74 had graduated, and Richard had left for college. So, Mr. Steve, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the musical stuff of the group.
So thank you, Chuck, for sending us that information, and also a couple of WAV files of their music. And it's very interesting. The group Gin was playing in the area, won some talent contests, some battle of the bands, and they were hired by some high schools and colleges to play at dances back when they did that sort of thing. What a wonderful time to be around in a band, huh?
I didn't know that they even did that sort of thing. Of course, I was a little young at that time frame, but
so these guys got together. One guy in, if you can imagine, Chuck, a freshman in high school with some freshmen in college. You know, and this band called Gin won enough battles of the bands that they got some recording time worth a lot of money.
It was, yes.
At a recording studio in Eugene, they recorded Louisville Luck and All You Gotta Do. And then later, decades later, can you believe this? A record label in Germany looking around for neat stuff. Perfect Toy Records released a 45 RPM record of 2 Gin rock and roll songs, Louisville Luck and Pseudo Funk. And that was 46 years after the songs were initially recorded, if you can imagine that. Ain't that neat, folks, to have your music live like that. It was a great time to be in high school, folks, mid-1970s, and our buddy Chuck was there in the band called Gin. We got 2 songs by Gin, Louisville Luck and Pseudo Funk, for your enjoyment. The band Gin from 1975, 92.7, 92.1.
Well, I was born with a deck of cards in my hand, and it seemed I was destined to be a gambling man. All my friends down in Louisville called me Louisville Love, and they said, son, Louisville's no place for you to be stuck. And so I headed out of Louisville, right on a Louisville truck, singing bye-bye Louisville, hello Louisville love. And hey, 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 hey. Now for the first 10 years the cars, they felt just fine. I had everything I'd always wanted to be mine. But in the back of my mind I had no doubt, well, that someday my Louisville luck would have to run out, and I'd be headed back to Louisville, bound on a Louisville truck, singing hello Louisville, bye-bye Louisville love. And hey, 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 do 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 do. Take me back to Louisville. Well, it was in Las Vegas when my luck came to an end. They knew they'd have to break me 'cause I would never bend. Oh, they got me for 100,000, maybe more. And they said, see you later, Mr. Luck, as I walked out the door. And now I'm headed back to Louisville, right on a Louisville truck, singing hello Louisville, bye-bye Louisville love. And hey, 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 do 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 do.
Well, there you go. What's your picks out of those two, Mr. Steve?
Dude, I liked Louisville Look, but it may have been because the pseudo funk recording that they made apparently at Raspberry Studios in Eugene. I got Eugene in 76, so in 75 I would have been aware of Raspberry Studios, but I certainly know where they were. And I was not impressed with the positioning of the microphones on
production work, other words.
Yeah, on Pseudo Funk.
Yeah.
But on Louisville Luck, yeah, I was very impressed. It had, kind of a whiff of Chicago, Movie Brothers, very 70s.
Yeah, there you
And good vocal harmonizing.
My choice.
And, hey, Chucker, man, he could
Beat the drums.
move those sticks.
Yeah.
Woo!
Sounded good. You and
Were
I
you
both
like naked from the
commented.
waist up and throwing drumsticks out into the audience to all your admiring female fans? Woo!
Yeah, we were commenting off mic.
Sorry, that's from Eddie and the
yeah.
Cruisers, too.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I gathered that. But anyway, great sounds, Chuck. Thank you for
Yeah, thank
the
you.
info on,
Thank you,
on
Chuck.
that and stuff.
And thank you, folks, for listening. And again, you're going to hear stuff here you won't hear anywhere else. We don't mind playing a high school college group from 1975.